of next month, the second largest school district in Wisconsin will name a new leader. New at 4, we now know the Madison Metropolitan School District's short list of superintendent candidates. WMTV's Elizabeth Wattis joins us now from the News Now desk with more about each of the three.
Lee, it's clear the superintendent search company MMSD hired looked all over the country for applicants. I know at least one internal candidate applied, 3 from Wisconsin at least. All 3 of the finalists, though, currently work and live outside the Badger State. Meet MMSD Superintendent candidate Mohammed Chowdhury. He is the former state superintendent of schools at the Maryland Department of Education. He was raised in Los Angeles and earned a Master of Education from the University of California, Los Angeles. Next, meet Dr. Joe Gothard. Right now, he is the superintendent of St. Paul Public Schools and was named the 2024 Minnesota Superintendent of the Year. He started his career as a teacher, coach, and principal in Madison before moving to Minnesota. He received his bachelor's, master's, and doctorate from Edgewood College. To round out the top 3, we have Dr. Yvonne Stokes. Dr. Stokes served as superintendent at Hamilton Southeastern Schools in Indiana. She started her education career in Fort Worth, Texas. She earned her undergrad and doctorate degree from Purdue University and holds a master's degree in special education from the University of St. Francis. According to the district's timeline, they will have a superintendent appointed and introduced to the community by late next month into early March. From the News Now desk, Elizabeth Wattis, WMTV 15 News.